Well, that's correct, folks. This is not clickbait. Ripple has officially won against the SEC, well, at least in all of the important stuff. In this video, I'm going to review what Ripple just won and what the SEC just won because, yes, they in fact did win a little bit of this case. I'm going to be going over exactly what XRP did in terms of its regulatory clarity, what Ripple won, what the SEC won, and what still needs to be decided because, yes, there's still something else that's going to go to trial. Also, there's some very big announcements that just came out. News is hitting all over the place. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And on this channel, we are covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the Late Night Grind community. Also, if you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. Those really are the best things you can do to help out a YouTube channel. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Let's jump into it. So as I'm making this video very early in the morning, it was actually earlier yesterday on Thursday that Judge Annalisa Torres dropped the decision on the Ripple versus the SEC case. There's several factors that we're going to talk about here. And it looks like from all of the headlines, from all the analysis, all the legal analysis that I've been reading, it is of course very bullish for both Ripple and XRP. And I did read much of the summary judgment, and in fact there's many pages of good explanation as to how the courts actually came up with the decisions. So here we go. Now the one that cryptocurrency enthusiasts and XRP enthusiasts are most interested in is of course the regulatory clarity that XRP has. Now, Judge Annalisa Torres and the courts found that XRP in and of itself does not constitute an investment contract. And what she said was basically you have to look at the totality of the circumstance to determine if something is a security or not. So she took the fact that XRP, being basically a cryptocurrency, a line of code essentially, could be used as a security, however, in and of itself is not a security. So what she did was apply that logic to many of the different sales that Ripple did to institutional investors, to basically anything that was sold on exchanges, what she called programmatic sales, as well as anything that they gave away in terms of investment, employee compensation, things like that. And what she did was apply it to all those different things to determine if there had actually been a violation that had occurred. So, the one thing that the SEC did win, at least so far, is that Ripple is in fact guilty of selling an unregistered security to the institutional buyers, meaning those people that had actually contracted and had an investment contract with Ripple while buying the XRP, well, those constitute a security. So in total, it was about $757 million worth of XRP sold to specific types of institutional buyers. That is considered a security. That's a win by the SEC. Now, from some of the analysis that I read, it's kind of an old relic. It doesn't really happen much anymore, but nonetheless, Ripple will probably have to face some fines for that particular issue. Now, the big one, what everybody wants to know is what happens with XRP everywhere else? Because pretty much all XRP is bought from exchanges. Well, as you know, as soon as this case was dropped, many exchanges dropped XRP from their holdings because they didn't want to get into any trouble with the SEC, although didn't really help out Coinbase at all. And I have some very big news on that later in this video. So after that, she applied the logic that the XRP token isn't a security and said that all programmatic sales that Ripple did, meaning anything that they put onto random exchanges or exchanges that even exchanges they had partnership with, and anything that was sold through that does not constitute an investment contract because, of course, there was no investment contract, even though she says that part of it doesn't matter. But the fact that there was no expectation of profit, there could be consumptive usage, among other things, that essentially all secondary market sales, basically any sales of XRP on any and all exchanges, basically comes out to the fact that it's not a security, and Ripple wins on that part. And that is the big part in this case that all people interested in cryptocurrencies wanted to know about. Now, there is also the matter of when Ripple did certain things like they gave away XRP, they compensated employees with XRP, and Judge Torres said those are not securities either, because it doesn't meet the Howey test. The fact that there wasn't any money invested into Ripple or XRP was purchased at all, it was simply given away, well, those XRP also do not constitute securities. Ripple wins on that part as well. By the way, if you're interested, I will link in the description below a link to the PDF, the full description that Judge Annalisa Torres wrote. It's very lengthy of how she came to all of her decisions. It's very thorough. It's a very interesting read. Go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. Now finally, there is something up in the air, and that being Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson personally were both sued by the SEC. And of course, their issues are different than Ripple, the company's issues. Now, Judge Annalisa Torres did actually strike down their fair notice defense in terms of Brad and Chris personally, and that looks like it will be going to trial. So no word on whether or not their sales, whether they sold it on exchanges, whether they sold it to institutional investors or not. Well, some of that information is probably going to come out when this goes to trial, but nonetheless, that really wasn't touched. So as of right now, the description that Judge Annalisa Torres wrote in her answers basically says that all XRP that was purchased on an exchange at any time does not constitute an investment contract and therefore is not a security. Now that's a big one because remember what happened at the beginning of this case. Almost all exchanges, especially the ones in the United States, dropped XRP, Coinbase being the most notable one. So what happened later yesterday? Well, one shoe started to drop and then another and then another. Exchanges started tweeting out that they are relisting XRP, and it began with the big one, Coinbase. Coinbase's chief legal counsel, Paul Graywall, tweeted out that among reading the decision and the thorough explanation by Judge Torres on XRP, they are confident in their decision to relist XRP back onto Coinbase. In fact, it went live several hours ago. Now, they are not the only ones. To my count, there are now a whole list of United States crypto exchanges adding XRP back in. We also have Kraken, Crypto.com, which I believe had XRP, although not for United States customers. But let me know in the comment section down below if I might have had that wrong. Bitstamp also announced they are adding XRP. Trust Capital announced they are adding back XRP. Gemini, who is owned by the Winklevoss twins, also announced that they are relisting XRP. Now, in my opinion, there's going to be a whole slew of other smaller ones that are going to be relisting it. There were a few exchanges that didn't delist XRP originally. Of course, the primary one that I know of, Uphold Inc., you could go buy and sell XRP directly from there. Of course, international, you could buy and sell XRP on other exchanges, but in the US, all these exchanges delisted them for fear of retribution from the SEC. Now, Coinbase is getting a bunch of that because they're in a lawsuit with the SEC right now over the same issues. The SEC claiming that Coinbase is listing a whole bunch of unregistered illegal securities offerings going after Coinbase. Well, Coinbase just said, you know what? XRP just got its regulatory clarity. We are going to list it. Everybody else followed suit. Now this is big for us. Now this is big for many reasons. Number one, this is going to drive demand for anybody that holds XRP. The value is already spiking. In fact, when the result was actually dropped within a few hours, the price of XRP went from 47 cents all the way up to 95 cents in a matter of hours. Now, that's big. It's since come down a little bit. Since then, it's consolidating at around 77 to 80 cents at the time of making this video. As I was preparing for this video, I saw that Binance.us also announced that they are going to be listing XRP on their platform for buying and trading. So now that you have all the major exchanges about to relist XRP, things are going to get very interesting over the next couple of days and couple of weeks. But we're still going to be looking at what the larger macroeconomic issues are, especially in the United States, regarding the rest of the cryptocurrency market and regarding the rest of the economy in terms of what these markets might do. Because XRP could show a huge spike. It may even hit $1, $2, maybe even $3, but is it going to retrace if the rest of the economy doesn't follow suit, especially if we keep getting rate hikes here in the United States? Well, things are going to be short-lived in terms of its current pricing. But now let's talk long-term, because it just so happens that on the same day that XRP got its regulatory clarity, and by the way, it has the most regulatory clarity in the United States in all of the cryptocurrency world other than Bitcoin, that the Bank of Japan just announced several hours after this ruling that they will be using XRP for all of their cross-border payments. Now this is huge because the Bank of Japan it's first of all, it's their largest bank. Second of all, Japan is very optimistic when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and now that it's giving its endorsement to XRP as, of course, its cross-border payment bridge currency, well, that's going to signal to a lot of other countries and a lot of other large banks that this in fact is a viable system, and it will be saving millions of dollars and days upon days in terms of transaction times, especially for cross-border payments. So as we move forward, we're going to see more and more institutional interest in XRP. And I'm not just talking about the investment vehicles like an ETF or something like that. We're actually going to be talking about banks utilizing this even more, especially here in the United States. Because as we know, there are many other countries that called XRP a commodity, a currency. It is not a security. The United States was just the last to get there. Now, what's going to happen? Because there are several things that we still need, that are still going to be ongoing regarding this case. Brad and Chris, they are still going to be going to trial to figure out if their sales, however they sold it, were in fact any type of securities or not. But like I said, that will not affect XRP on the open market. All secondary sales, anything that was bought on an exchange has basically been given the green light. The other thing too is appeals. Many people expect the SEC to appeal this decision since they had lost on the big stuff, the stuff that they wanted, the stuff that they wanted to get their hands around and of course regulate. And from some other analysis that I've read, some people are expecting Ripple to appeal the decision about the institutional buyers being considered and that XRP being considered an investment contract. So we're gonna have to see as this moves forward what the appeals do in terms of them shaking out. Brad and Chris, of course, going to trial, so we're gonna be covering that as well. But right now, XRP is hitting the open market on many different exchanges here in the United States. They're being added by the hour. It's very fun to watch. If you've been following XRP, if you've been following this channel for several years since this lawsuit broke, this is one of the days that you've been waiting for. As Jeremy Hogan put it, it is good to see justice served. This is your day. And so this decision is going to have big legal implications for the rest of the projects and the cryptocurrencies that the SEC is currently going after. Not only that, this is going to have big implications for many other crypto projects in years to come. This is a big case. This is a monumental case in finance, and it's something that I'm going to be continuing to follow, as well as many other projects that this affects. All right, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.